So this question is about, will one drink do you any harm? The reality of this is that, it's definitely going to set you back. This is about quitting alcohol. You just taking one drink is going to put you on the back step again. One drink always leads to another. It might take another week before you get there, before you take that one drink. But it's going to happen. You'll have another one and you go, well, that first one didn't really do much harm. So, I can take another one. Or, once you've had the one drink, you might say, well, geez, one drink is no harm at all. I'll take another one. And then 2 will lead on to 3, and 3 on to 4. And before you know it, you'll be back exactly where you started again. This is one of the reasons why I really don't encourage people to go on to alcohol-free beers, is because, especially in the early stages of you stopping drinking, the habit part of your brain is just trying to encourage you to drink. It's trying to get back into that old habit. That's what a habit is. It's trying to put you into a routine, and there's nothing malicious about this. There's nothing intelligent about it. It's very basic. It's very mechanical. And once you allow that routine to come back into your life, then it's very difficult to turn it back around again. You get a feeling that you want to have a drink. It'd be nice to have a drink, or a thought. Maybe you're in a situation, or you're with other people, or you're in a place that you would normally, have a drink, and this thought pops up in your head. It's an automatic reaction. I'll talk about triggers in the coming weeks. I'll do a few videos on triggers, because I think that's one of the important things. And as I said, in the beginning few days, it's important that you bring your conscious mind, your awareness around to the fact that these thoughts are going to happen, that you are going to want a drink, even if you're determined and absolutely positive that you're never going to drink again. Those thoughts will still pop up into your mind. You can't help it. When it comes to asking these questions, I don't blame you. It's a perfectly normal thing, but you already know the answer. You don't need to ask me. But it's not what I teach. I teach quitting alcohol altogether because I don't want to be a teetotaler. I don't want to be that person who is forever going through my life thinking, yeah, geez, wouldn't it be nice now to just be able to have the odd occasional drink. I don't want to be. I'm not a person who's quitting because it's bad for my health, although that's part of the reason. I'm not a person who is quitting because of family reasons, that kind of thing, although that's part of the reason. I just don't want to go through my life thinking that I'm making some kind of a fucking sacrifice, which I'm not. I'm making no more of a sacrifice quitting alcohol as I would if I was quitting heroin, say, for instance, or some other mad drug. This is a drug that is responsible for life destruction. The actual process of getting rid of the triggers out of your life is breaking down the connection between the triggers and the action. It's just interjecting your conscious awareness in between those two things, in between the time that the thought is triggered in your mind, the craving to drink, whatever you want to call it, and the action of actually drinking. So that can be anything. It can be a simple word or a phrase. It can be, get a grip on yourself, or this is only a mind trick, or this is a trigger. For me at the moment, I'm trying to permanently get myself away from eating junk food. I eat healthy most of the time, and my weight fluctuates because every so often I go on a junk food binge. And junk food for me really means I have a sweet tooth. So, you know, for me it's biscuits and cakes and chocolate bars and jellies and all that kind of stuff. So my word now is just emotion, because it only happens when it's sort of a form of emotional eating. You know, I get it when I'm tired, I get it when I'm, you know, I've had a bad day or something like that. I just feel like going down to the shop and buying a bag of goodies. You know, in some areas of your life, it's a good idea to think emotionally, but I think in this type of area, especially where there's something so insipid as a drug habit, that you should try and take the as much of the emotion out of it as you possibly can, and use cold, hard logic for your decisions. You know, life is life, and the craving to have a drink is basically because that is the easiest way that we as alcohol drinkers know to deal with life. So, you know, once you have a drink and once you get pissed, you don't have to feel responsible anymore. You don't have to feel worried, or you don't have to, you know, you don't have any worries at all. All you have to do is drink and get rid of all your responsibilities altogether. You know, but in reality, what a waste of life. By giving into that one drink and saying to yourself, yeah, one won't matter, you're basically giving yourself permission to use to solve your problems through alcohol. You know, you're not allowing your mind to actually pull away from the alcohol, and that is part of the journey. It's, you know, for me, it's the whole journey is to face the opposite direction and go forward in your life and move away from alcohol. You know, so long as you think that one drink won't matter, and so long as you have the idea in your head that you need alcohol in any way, shape or form, or that alcohol can solve any of your problems, you're always going to be tethered to it, you know, like a big elastic band pulling you back and pulling you back all the time, you know. So in the early days, like I say, even the alcohol-free beers has a tendency to do that because of the taste and the associations. You know, up until a couple of weeks ago when I went to Holland back then, you know, and I had a few beers, and it was still, I still had those associations, and I still felt that pull. So, and it was that pull that I didn't like, and you know, it was like taking a step backwards, sort of regressing back into my old ways, even though it wasn't. You know, there's no alcohol in it, but it felt like that. You know, at the end of the day, that's one of the reasons why it's important to know the reasons, your own personal reasons why you want to quit. You know, why you don't want to drink anymore. It's because, you know, at those times when you're asking that question, can you have a drink? You can see, you know, really go over again your reasons for quitting, and, you know, ask yourself, is this one drink going to help you move towards your goals? You know, why do you want that one drink? You know, that's a real basic question. It sort of leads on to my last argument about that one drink hypothesis is, you know, why do you want that one drink? Why do you drink in the first place? You know, do you drink because you love the taste, or do you drink to get drunk? And, you know, most people, I think everybody who has who drinks a lot of alcohol in any one sitting does it because they like the feeling of getting drunk. You know, that's the basics. I think most people would drink alcohol if it tasted like shite, because most alcohol does taste like shite. You know, it was only when I stopped drinking, it was only before I stopped drinking and I sort of started thinking about my own drinking, thought about it in those terms and realised that, you know, that's what I actually drank for. I drank to get drunk. You know, that wasn't like every time I drank I got drunk, or, you know, there was occasions when I didn't drink, there was occasions when I couldn't drink, there was occasions when I'd have 2 or 3 drinks and I'd stop. But most of the time, I want to go out for a drinking session. I'd either go out for a drinking session, a long one, and get pissed, or I want to get pissed. And I realised that no matter what way I looked at this, even if I tried to control it, the whole reason for me drinking was to get drunk, so I would always be trying to get back to that level at some stage underneath me. You know, I'd always be trying to, you know, make excuses. Just this once, you know, like I'll allow myself to get pissed, even though on most occasions I might manage to be able to sit there and drink half a bottle of wine. And you know, once you allow yourself to do that once, then you're going to do it again, and you're going to do it again and again, and eventually you're back to square one again. I mean, this is a drug, no matter what way you look at it, and you have to think about it in those terms. Think about it in the terms that you would think about heroin. If you were addicted to heroin, if you had issues with heroin, if heroin was involved in your life and destroying your life in the same way as alcohol is doing, then you would have no compunction about it. You know, you wouldn't be thinking, oh well, you know, I'm not saying, I've never been on heroin, so I don't know. But I'm saying that's the way I think. The way I think about heroin is, it always scared me, so that's the way I think about alcohol now. It's just that we're conditioned not to think about it that way. So anyway, that's your lot for today. If you have any questions at all, give us a shout over on the website. There's a new book coming out soon, 7 Steps to Alcohol Freedom, and you can go over and get it on the website. You can also get the other book, which is out now, is Stop Drinking Alcohol. Sign up for the newsletter, which is absolutely free. Just leave your first name and email address, and send you updates about anything that's happening on the site, anything that's coming out. No spam, or I say free. Till next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Onwards and upwards.